Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So, what better place to be than here with me to get the tips and the tricks that you need to learn to live past crazy? I hope everybody is having a great. Today is Friday, y'all. I hope you guys are ready. Hope you're having a great morning. I'm ready to get this morning started. If you missed the show yesterday, you missed an amazing time. Yesterday really showed you what the morning show is all about, what we stand for. Hold on one second. Can somebody give me a bottle of water? So if you missed the show yesterday, you missed a treat. It was, I think it was wonderful, one of our best. Sometimes you have to see other people walk out the journey or walk out what, thank you so much, what they are talking about. And every day we are walking out the Fearless Morning Show. Every day we're walking out the fearless journey. So hopefully my fearless co-host Miss Lynn will be joining me. If not, please keep her in your prayers. And I will get us a quote for today. Good morning, everybody that has joined. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. I had a quote, so just give me 2 seconds. Yes, it was beautiful. It really was. Though here she is. If I can get my phone to work. Amazing. Let me tell you, it set the tone for my entire day. And it's also a reminder that you have got to be about your business regardless of the situation. You've got to be about your Father's business, and you have got to make sure that you are working and doing what's your purpose in life. Without it, you won't make it. Good morning, Lynn.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
We were just talking
Yes.
about the show yesterday.
Yeah, girl. So we won't be doing all of that Kleenex stuff today.
All right, honey.
But it's good to get it out, right? It's
Yes,
good to
ma'am.
get it out because a lot of people don't even have anybody to talk to, anybody to go to, and they sit there and they have to deal with it on their own, and they get depressed and they go through all these situations by themselves. But it, like you said, it's always good to have you somebody
Yes,
that
ma'am.
you can go to,
Oh,
right?
good. Yes.
It's good to have somebody you can go to. But with that said, y'all, while JoJo's looking up a quote, I have some funny trivia for y'all today.
Okay, go
Cause we'll
right ahead.
get back on our little trivia part of the show, guys. And when I tell you that I'm sharing this trivia, you say, Lynn, why in the heck are you sharing trivia with us? Guys, this stuff is funny because it's a way of making money. So it still ties in with the money situations we hear every
Mm-hmm.
day. Every everything, if you look at it in some way, shape, form, or fashion, guys, it ties back to your finances. So what's happening in Wisconsin? We're gonna pick on Wisconsin today. We've been giving all of the states a fair go. But
Mm-hmm.
y'all, in Wisconsin, in the state, y'all, the entire state. So some places we talk about just a city within the state or what have you. But in the state, it's against the law to serve apple pie without what? Y'all can guess it probably.
Ice
It's
cream.
against no, not ice cream, cheese.
What?
It's it's against the law in Wisconsin, y'all, to serve apple pie without cheese. They gotta sell that cheese. That's what they're known for up there, right? They have to sell that cheese. So hey, it's about making the money. I tell you guys,
What the
that's
world?
Wisconsin. So you won't get any apple pie without any cheese.
That
That's
I've
your favorite.
never heard
Oh,
that
it's not your
before.
favorite.
Um,
Oh, okay. Yes. All right. The next one I want to share with y'all guys. I have two more. That it was too funny to me, and y'all have to excuse me if you think it's corny. Yeah, that's just me. But the next one, y'all. What do you need a license to do in Hood River, Oregon?
What?
Guys, you have to pay for a license to juggle. What in the world? In Hood River, Oregon, you have to pay for a license to juggle. Didn't I tell y'all it's about making their money? But you know what? They making their money, keeping their money, and growing their money, and doing all of these
Yes,
things. So
they are.
it's what they do. In the last one, y'all, I thought this was funny. Arizona making their money too. In Arizona, you must register with the state before becoming what?
What?
Before becoming an illegal drug dealer, you got to register with the state.
I'm about to tell you, I'm in a
Arizona trying to make their money, y'all. Yes, say it ain't so. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
But,
Trinda, I caught that too. A license to dash in Hood River. I caught that too. That you said, I was like, that make no sense.
oh, yes, y'all. It is crazy. It's crazy. Oh, let me just throw one more in there. Since we're talking about all the other states, let's bring it back to the South. Did you know that it's illegal to do what in Florida when you in a bathing suit?
What?
It's illegal to sing. JoJo, you in trouble.
I'm heading to the Sunshine State in 2 hours. I am so in trouble.
I know. So when you go down there, you go to the beach in your bathing suit. Please do not sing. It is against the law.
When I call you, Lee, just had the bail money ready.
It is against the law. Yes, y'all. I thought that was funny. So that's it for our funny trivia segment this morning. But these people out here in these streets know how to make their money, keep their money, and grow their money. Yes, they do. All of our legislators, policymakers, and yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah. All right, I have two quotes for you guys today because I couldn't decide because y'all know I'm a quote person. The first one is science is organized knowledge, but wisdom is organized life. That's Immanuel Kant. I love that because people try to make life something other than what it is, but wisdom is it. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. And that is E.E. Cummings. And I love that one because I think at this age, I think once you hit, and some people may mature more than others, by 35, 40, you really start to realize who it is you want to be, and you're ready to stop being who you pretending to be. And so it takes courage to grow up and to become who you really are. I love that one.
Yes.
Awesome, Look, Charlene said put that money aside for her too, because she can't sing.
Well, just don't sing in Florida with a bathing suit on, y'all. That's all we got to do, right?
That's right.
E.E. Cummings, I love that quote. It takes courage to become who you are, guys. And that's very good because we are, well, let's just say this. If you value God, you must value what he has created in his image, and that's you. So you must value you, right?
Yeah.
It takes the courage to become who you are. I love how that ties in together there, y'all, with from Mr. E.E. Cummings. That's a good one this morning.
I love that.
All right, guys. I want to go. I will not digress and worry your patience long this morning. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the financial confessions and conversation this morning. I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 rebound coach. Yes, I said it, America's #1. And what we're talking about today, guys, is how to make it happen in your finances, right? How do you make it happen in your finances? Because we talk about this all the time. We talk about the opportunities that we have, and we want to make these things happen. We want to make our money, keep our money, and grow our money, but we can't seem to get around. If you think about it, you have all of these bills that may be in your way, or you're thinking about your retirement and how do you get that set up, and you're thinking about how do I now get my child's education paid for, and all of these things come at you at once, just like we were talking about in the fight, in the struggle. And JoJo mentioned yesterday when in the movies, when they fight, especially in those kung fu movies, they come at you one at a time. They fight fair. They come one at a time. When that one comes up and gets beat, down, then the next one comes up,
Mm-hmm.
right? The same, but life doesn't happen that way. So how do we now make things happen? How do we manifest these things that we're talking about in our finances? Guys, and not to get all biblical on you, but it is what it is, right? So how do we manifest this, guys, in our lives? The number one thing that I want to say and reiterate, and I don't know if you heard me yesterday when I shared this, but what you got to do, guys, to get to where we need to go is actually locate that promise that covers your situation or your issue in your finances. You say, well, Lynn, what are you talking about when you say locate the promise, y'all? I'm talking about where is it in the word, right? Mm-hmm. Where is it in the word? Because the Bible, essentially, those are our basic instructions before leaving this earth. And I know it sounds cliche, but it is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. So what are those things that you have to do now to manifest this in your life, in your finances? And in looking at that, what I'm saying to you guys is you have to find the word of God that covers your situation. So how do I find this word that's going to cover my situation with my savings or with my investing or with the things that I'm called to do? See, some of y'all you don't want to hear this morning. You feel that this is not for you. So if it's not for you, that's fine. Then by all means leave. But for those of you who are, right, who this is for, those of you who are willing to listen and do and apply, right, you shall prosper is what we're called to do, right? We're called to have life and have it more abundantly. But how do we get to that abundant life? See, guys, what we tend to do, and this has to be what it is this morning, y'all. And it's coming from Matthew 25, 14 and 30. And yes, I am not apologizing, right? I am not apologizing for the word, because it teaches us, even in the Bible, y'all, it teaches us about all the different things to do with our money so we can get to our next, right? I need you to catch that. And in Matthew 25, 14 to 30, I don't know if you guys know the story about the talents. There was one man, the servant was given 5 talents. One servant was given 2 talents. The other servant was given 1 talent. And they were asked to go out and take that, right? Those were the investments, guys. These are the monies. Those 5 talents, you might as well say that's $5,000. Those 2 talents, you might as well think of it as $2,000. And that 1 talent, think of it as $1,000. See, the one who had the $5,000, what did he do? He went out there and he invested those 5 talents, right? And he had another 5 talents. So basically, he grew his money, right? He grew those talents. The same thing we're called to do with our monies. Whether you have $50,000, you have $20,000, or you only have $1,000, you should be investing your funds. See, even in the Bible, y'all, that parable teaches us, right? Because if you look at it, the one who had 5 invested and got more. The one who had 2 talents invested and got more. But the one who only had 1 talent hid that thing. The one who had 1 talent, the one that only had that $1,000, said to himself, essentially, this is what I imagine in my mind that he said, well, I only have 1, and I don't want to risk losing this 1, so I'm not going to, right, do anything with it. So let me just go over here and bury it. Let me go ahead and put it under the mattress, right, so it can be safe. Let me put it under there and keep it safe. I'm not going to do anything with it right now. So this is nothing's going to happen. But when the master came back, he talked to him. The man came back with his 5 talents, or you came back with that 5 that you've now invested, and it's $10,000 or even more. And what did he say to him for the 5 talents that he invested and he got more? He said, well done, my good and faithful servant. Go and be joyful. Go and enjoy, right? Go and enjoy. The guy who had the 2 talents, or those $2,000, he invested, he got more. Good job. Go and enjoy. But the one who only had one, the
Yeah,
one who only
why?
had the $1,000, the one that had the money that they only were able to just barely pay their bills because they were not wise, faithful servants, good stewards of their finances, y'all. Right?
Mhm.
Because there are things that we can all do. Now there
Mhm.
are some situations, don't hear me incorrectly. There are some situations that you get into, right? That in that
Mhm.
moment you may not be able to invest. You may not be able to save, and I get that. But there are always steps that we can take to improve our situation. But
Mhm.
oftentimes what we tend to do, guys, we tend to be like the person with the one talent. We think that it's not enough and I don't want to do anything with this, so I'm going to
Mhm.
go over here and bury it. See, when you bury it, nothing happens. Nothing has the ability to grow. There is no change that's going to happen. And in the story, he says, didn't you know that essentially, this is the way I see it in my mind's eye. Didn't you know I was coming back, and didn't you know I was looking for more, and you didn't even grow? You did absolutely nothing with what I gave you in the beginning. See, guys, that's why I shared this morning. If you value God, you must value what he has created in his image, and that is you, and you must value you, and you must value that he's given you everything in your hands to be able to do what you need to do to get to your next.
Mhm.
See, that's how you manifest. See, God has promised us all of these things, right?
Mhm.
What is Trenda saying? Will you
She
read that
says
for me?
investing is actually easier and more profitable than saving in the long run.
Absolutely.
But you got, and I
Absolutely.
think a point to add to Lynn is that, with these talents, when you look at the other two, and that's the one who hid his, you got to be willing to step out there and do something with what you got.
Absolutely.
You got to be willing, you got to be determined to do something with what you got. So when you don't do anything with what you got, then you're complaining. You know me, I'll say in a minute, you have no room to complain at that point. If you're not using what was given to you, you have no
Right.
room to complain, period.
But we're human. We don't do that. We're going to
Mm.
complain, most of us anyway, right? Because
Yep.
we don't have a mindset of thinking about how do I now manifest this in my life. We
Yep.
don't have that mindset to think of ways that we can now empower ourselves to be able to go be more and do more. We don't have that mindset,
That's right.
right? In many cases. So the conversation this morning, and I love, actually Trenda sent me a book that she was reading. Let me go and pull that book up. And the book that she was reading is called Ordinary People, Extraordinary Wealth. And more than likely you have heard of that book by Eric Edelman, right?
Yep.
And in looking at that book, one of the things that she was sharing is she just started reading the book, y'all. So let me just be fair and say that. She said she just started reading the book, and it's blowing her mind, right? She never heard of most of the stuff that's in the book. She said it makes sense, but it's so opposite of Dave. We talking about Dave Ramsey for those of you that don't follow that philosophy. And everybody that she's apparently listened to, that she's like, is this real? Right? And guys, that's the beauty of educating yourself and reading and thinking things through as you do read and start to apply and take action to your next step. See, my suggestion and recommendation to her was, yes, to keep reading that book, because they do have some good information inside of there. But what you have to now do, because when you think of my philosophy, the philosophy that I uphold in my family, and so now I've been trained through the National Financial Education Consortium. I've been trained through college and university courses in finances. I've done the gambit. I've read Dave Ramsey. I've read Robert Kiyosaki. I've read Susie Orman. I've read Og Mandino. I've read, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in that reading, what I have developed and what I suggest or recommend that you develop now is your own philosophy,
Yeah.
right? So what can you take from each of these individuals, from each of these thoughts, from each of their systems, and now create your own system, right? See, that's how you really manifest, right? The promise. That's how you truly get to your next, is in the application of those things that you need to do, right? Whether it's actually investing, or it's actually saving, or it's actually, you fill in the blank, whatever it is, that thing that you need to do, right? Add all of those different pieces together so that you can now move to your next. So taking those different philosophies, if it's something that does not align within your spirit, within your situation, within your current circumstances, then you don't have to accept that, right? But what you do is now go through, don't stop reading, don't stop learning, and don't stop going through the process. Because that's it. It may not be ready for you right now. Maybe it's not your time to get that. Maybe it's not your time to be able to understand whatever that system or concept happens to be. Right? And then later you'll come back to it and you'll say, oh, now I get it. Right? How many times have you been in that situation where somebody has told you something over and over and over? And I know for myself, I've sat there, I've actually had dreams, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, Lord, what does that dream mean? What does it mean? And then it can be weeks, days, weeks, or even months on down the road. And then you get into a situation and you stop there and you be like, that's it. Right? That is exactly what it meant. And my mom shared with me a similar situation where she had a dream, and she said she didn't know what that dream meant, but as soon as she stepped out in her car onto the land in the place where she saw that, she was like, it came back to her remembrance immediately. Right? The same thing happens to each of us when we continue to practice and read and learn and educate ourselves and be consistent on this journey as we're taking these steps that we need to take to get to our next, guys. See, that's how we continue to improve. That's how you begin to manifest. This is how you make these things happen, not only in your finances, but also in your life and your relationships. See, a lot of these practical steps that we share here on the show apply in multiple areas of your lives. But because I'm America's #1 rebound coach, yes, I said it, that's why I talk about your finances. See, that's how you get to your next. And I thank you, Trenda, for actually for sharing that with us, so that we can actually go through that and talk about it. But to get back to the discussion this morning, guys, whether you're the person with the 5 talents, the 2 talents, or the 1 talent, what are you going to do with it? With your $5,000, your $2,000, or your $1,000, what are you going to do with it? What are the decisions that you are going to commit to yourself, right? And we always talk about making goals. Set goals, set goals, set goals. But instead of saying setting goals now, let's say make promises to yourself, right? How you're now going to manifest those promises, not only the promises that God has made to us in this word, but the promises you make to yourself that you're now going to walk in what he's told us, right? That's already ours. Right?
That's
and
right.
My Bible tells me that his riches are laid up for me. But all I got to do is walk in it and align with what he called me to do. Ensure that my heart, right, seeks him first.
That's right.
As long as I am in alignment there, guys, there's nothing else that has to happen except for me walking in that. Right? So if you value God, you got to value that he created you in his image. And you got to value that you have everything within you to do what you need to do. So manifest it for you. Manifest the promise in your life. Take those talents, whether you have 5, 2, or 1, it doesn't matter where you start. Because if you're not good with the little, how can you be good with the lot? Right? If you can't manage a little bit of money now, right? How do you expect to manage millions later? See, you got to understand that right now, because to whom much is given, much is required. So you got to know how to handle this little bit, guys, before we get to that next. Yeah, exactly. I want what's promised me. Take back what the devil has stole from me. See, you're going to get me in another song over here, Charlene. But yes, that's how we get to our next, guys. So manifest. How do you manifest that? You walk in it, and you have to be consistent as you move forward, right? In everything that we do. Be consistent in the way that you invest. Be consistent in the way that you educate yourself to protect those investments. Now, don't go out there investing in stuff you don't know about, right? Don't go out there investing because you heard this hot stock tip from somebody, and you said, well, they said it was a good idea. Right? That's just like me saying, all right, y'all, I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to drive to Hawaii today. What? Right? It's the same thing. I'm not going to make it. I am not going to make it if I say I'm planning to drive to Hawaii today. The same thing happens with your money, guys. You got to learn the proper system. Yeah. Money, keep money, and grow your money. And then you have to be consistent on this journey because things are constantly changing. So you got to be consistent in the idea of educating yourself so that you can stay abreast of those changes as well. Right? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's about commitment. It's not about I wish I had. It's not about I won't. But it's about I am committed to.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
See, that's what's most important. Are you committed, right? What was JoJo's word? Are you interested?
Or are you committed? That's right.
Are you just interested in the idea of being able to invest and leave generational wealth and have that as a part of your legacy? Or are you committed?
That's right.
See, that's what we're called to do. Don't have me to pull out another Bible verse on you. That's what we're called to do. Leave an inheritance for our children's children. But are you doing that? Well, I preached to myself over here today. Well, wait a minute. Right?
Amen.
But yes, y'all, on a serious tip. On the serious, how do you make it happen in your finances, guys? You have to manifest these things, and you have to walk in it. You have to walk in it. All right, guys, that's it for my financial confession and conversation this morning. I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yes, I said it, America's #1. You guys can find me also on Instagram and Twitter at Dimmons Speak. That's Dimmons, no demons here, right? Dimmons Speak. All right, Miss Co-host, passing it back to you. My partner, which there is no crime, right? All right.
Then make sure that there is no crime going on in here. You know, some days when Jesus ain't all the way there, you be searching for him.
Yes. Yes. So when you go to Florida, make sure you don't commit any crimes.
I will not sing in my bathing suit to be arrested. Yeah. So I'll be calling in, can you come get me?
Ooh, yes, please don't. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. So all right, Charlene, no crime. I promise I'm gonna be good. Oh, and then for those of y'all who live in the area at home, I will be at Union Hill choir anniversary on the 22nd. So if y'all want to come out and hang out with me for a little bit, I will be in Union Mills on the 22nd at Union Hill AME Zion Church for that choir anniversary. That's my home church. Just a little plug over there. I used to sing in the choir. Can y'all believe that?
Oh, no.
Don't make me rock and clap. Charlene, look, listen, Linda, listen. Don't go to jail. Over there singing. Lynn is talking. She done told you she invests for her money tied up. She ain't got nothing liquid that she can just come get
Right,
you now.
y'all.
She
Right.
like,
I don't
Charlene,
have
I
a
gotta
bank
make a
account that's called
transaction.
I don't have a bank account that's called Bell Money, so y'all gonna have to.
It's not called what, Lynn?
It's not called Bail My Friends Out. No, ma'am, it's not.
Oh, I
It's called
trust
Y'all
that.
Better Act Right.
Lord, I trust that those are the Fearless Morning Show. We'll do right in life. Amen.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys. That's right. You know you used to sing in the choir, Charlene. And Courtney, side note, and I'm really gonna get to my thought for today. Courtney, I was telling her I was gonna MC the event. She's like, what's a choir anniversary? And I forgot we moved to Raleigh when she was 5, and we joined Grace AME Zion Church. And our pastor doesn't believe in programs and any of that. So she had never been to a choir anniversary. I was like, Courtney, what? Back in the day, choir anniversary, usher board, my girl. What you, Lynn? You know you in there all day, and you got your little outfit on, and you marching in. Y'all know nothing about it. What y'all know about a choir anniversary? Child, let me tell you, you
Yes,
know, Charlene, you know. Don't let New Bethel AME Zion Church come up in there. Trenda was our star singer.
What? Yes.
Yes, man. All right, y'all. So the fearless thought of the day. We started it yesterday, so I'm gonna finish it today. How is your relationship with yourself? Charlene said you need an emergency fund for bail money.
I have an emergency fund, but my emergency fund is not. Shall I repeat? It is not.
In case you were wondering.
In all capital letters with exclamation points at the end.
Not.
Right?
Even in sign language.
Right. Oh geez.
Yeah, Charlene, you know New Bethel was lit, honey. We would have they would have quiet. By that point I had stopped singing. I left it to the strictly professionals because I can't sing. All right. So today, guys, how is your relationship with yourself? Yesterday we got to question 1. So I got 3 questions. Let me pull them up here so I don't have to, I can actually look at a screen instead of looking at, I can look at that. What qualities do you exhibit or actions do you take that weaken your relationship with yourself? And you can apply that to your money as well as your relationships. What qualities do you exhibit or actions you take that weaken your relationship with yourself? And that could be your spending habits that weaken your relationship with yourself. That can be your self-talk that weakens your relationship with yourself. It can be, and here's my pet peeve. Please don't greet me with a negative word. Hey, I don't call myself that. So why would you greet me with, I hate to see videos where, hey, B, how you doing? I'm not any of those words. So why would you greet me like that? So what actions and thoughts and words are you doing that weaken your relationship with yourself and you don't even know about it?
Right.
So that's question number 1. Question number 2, what have you contributed to the health of your relationship with yourself? Meaning, have you taken time to be by yourself? Have you taken time to invest in, if you're going through a hard time, and look, my Bible's still sitting here from yesterday. Have you been reading the word? Have you read a little book to encourage yourself? What are you doing to contribute to the health of yourself? Because that's vital. Your mental health, your emotional health, all of that is vital to your entire world. So what are you adding? Because if you're just going, remember I talked about time, if you're just going, and you don't stop to take time for yourself, eventually you're going to break. I promise you. I'm a living witness twice over that you will break. You got to take some time for yourself. It's going to manifest in your health in other ways. Your stomach's going to hurt. Your shoulders are going to hurt. Your back hurt. Your feet hurt. Your eye, everything going to hurt, and you're not sure why. So what are you contributing to the health of your relationship with yourself? Because you're worried about everybody else. But what about you? Sometimes we get tired of, like yesterday, Lynn, we were talking about, it's hard sometimes, even when we're strong, because if you're a strong individual, and I know Lynn can relate to this, your family comes to you for absolutely everything, and they want to answer because they expect you to know. I don't know where that comes from. Well, call JoJo, she know. If she don't know, she'll find the answer, and if she don't find the answer, she'll find somebody who will find the answer. And it's a lot of, because people expect you to be strong. But what about those days when I don't want to know the answer? I don't know. I don't want to do. What about those when you having those days? That's when what you have poured into yourself is going to come into play. When you don't feel like being strong, but you have to keep going. That's right. That's right, Charlotte. That and Sandra. I know you the world's worst at that. You need to take time for yourself. That's right, Charlene, you will break. Number 3, here in the last 2 questions, are just things that you can do maybe later today. What are 3 things that you like about yourself? What are 3 things that you like about yourself? Because you can tell real quick what you like about somebody else. What are the 3 things that you like about yourself? What qualities? And then the last one are, what are 3 qualities that frustrate you about yourself? Because this is what I found out. When something aggravates me about what other people do, it's something inside of me that recognizes it in them that I don't like. And it may be something I may have dealt with previously. It may be something I'm going through right now, or it could be something I need to address. So what are the 3 qualities about yourself that frustrate you? You know, when you do something, you be like, man, I can't believe I even did that. Here we go again, JoJo, down this same, and if you find yourself saying that all the time, here we go again, down this same, I can't believe I'm doing this again. And let me tell you, here's a confession. I did this all the time in 2 areas. My money, because every time I had somebody, I was like, oh, I'm going to pay this bill first. I'm going to catch up on all this, and I would catch up on some of the bills. And on the rest, I'd be like, and Lynn's favorite thing is, you deserve, I deserve, and I said all the time, I deserve this because I've been working hard. And then I'm right back at the same junction of where I left. And then in my relationship, I kept having the same problem with men. I can't believe I'm going through the same thing again, until I had to check myself. So what are 3 things you like about yourself, and what are 3 qualities about yourself that frustrate you? Because if they frustrate you, you may be getting on somebody else's nerves as well. I had to realize that somebody may be getting on my nerves, but I may be getting on somebody else's nerves. Yes, yep, that's right. 3 likes and 3 frustrations about yourself. And what qualities do you exhibit or actions do you take that weaken your relationship with yourself? That's a big one for me. I know one of the things for me is, and I talked about this yesterday, not having taken away my quiet time where I read my Bible and pray. That weakened my relationship with myself because I don't feel as strong or as fulfilled as I used to. And I had to get back to that, because you miss it. Once you put things in place, you start to miss that. And what have you contributed to the health of your relationship with yourself? Because if you're not healthy, if you're not happy, I promise you, you cannot contribute to anybody else in your household. You can't make your husband happy, or you can't be beneficial to him. You can't be beneficial to your kids. You want to know why? Because in the back of your mind, you are worried about your own self and what's going on. I love you, Sandra. So what you got to tell you, there's no way on this fearless journey. We talk about how with people that interact with us, we got new rules, we got all this new stuff. But the major part of this is that we are changing ourselves. And in that changing of ourselves, we're spending time to figure out who we, like the quote for today, it takes courage to change and be who you really are. And I did this, if you follow me on Instagram, maybe it was a month ago, where I said I used to be a daredevil when I was a kid. I wanted to be a ballerina, I wanted to be a gymnast, I wanted to be a doctor, and I wanted to be a president. I have big goals. And when you're a kid, there was nothing anybody could tell you to deter you from what you want to do. Yes, that's right, Trent. That's the questions. Right, and fasting and praying is a wonderful thing with the right intentions. So
Mm.
I had, oh, just a side note, I had to study that because I felt like God was calling me to fast and pray, and I had to really do a lot of studying about fasting, because I didn't just want to be, oh, I'm fasting just to be doing something. I wanted to make sure that I was
Right.
educated and I was doing what I needed to do to get, to be where I needed to be. And some things only come by fasting and praying. So that's for sure. But so think about that now, guys, as we're older, some of us are past 40. At what point did we start allowing people to change the dreams in our life? And why do we allow that? Sometimes it's our parents because they want to keep us safe. Oh, don't do that because you might get hurt. Don't do this or don't do that. But at what point do we go back to the core of who we are and
Right.
realize who it is we want to be? Because inside, I'm still the little girl that lives on Spruce Street that loves to ride her bicycle and pop wheelies and climb trees. That's why I love to be outside. I went to the swings the other day, and my kids is like, Mommy, there's a birthday party. The birthday party's over there. They not in the swing section. And I swung, honey, I had myself a good time on that little swing. You hear me? For about 30 minutes. I jumped out, I rolled in the grass, and I got right back in there and got back in that swing again and had my kids push me. But you got to get back to the core. And here's the thing. We put all these restrictions on life that we may not necessarily need to put on our life just because, somebody said we couldn't. Get back to who you are. Yeah, Trenda said a mouthful. Marriage totally affected my dreams without me realizing. Woo! Honey. Yes to the ma'am.
Yes.
What were you gonna say, Lynn? We can't touch that one.
Well, you know what, JoJo? I actually I'm in a book project where we wrote about that.
Oh, really?
And it's about leadership in marriage and talking about finding your purpose in marriage, but finding your purpose as an individual first. And
Yes.
that's where a lot of people miss the boat. I'm not gonna tell all y'all everything that's in the book, but we talk about that. So yeah, when that book coming out this summer,
Yeah.
yes, that's gonna be, yes, that's gonna bless somebody. But honey, yes, I hear you wholeheartedly, and
She said, "Bay and Trenda, you have no idea. Like it is my first time getting married. Like I was like, oh my God." And it was urgent. Like, what happened to JoJo? Where did she go? And I was urgently seeking for her. Like, and then the second go round, I was like, what? Where is she at? Did she just run away when she get married? Like, and so I understand. I'm writing about that too. I think we all three are, but mine is from a totally different perspective than you two guys. But yeah, we are individuals first, and I talked about that the Monday or Tuesday, talking about her. We can't make anybody else happy. You first have to
right.
be internally satisfied and happy with yourself. We're
With
two
you.
individuals coming together to help each other. I meet your need, and I see the needs you expectations of what you need. But I cannot make you happy, honey. That's between you and Jesus. But what I can do is make your ride a little bit easier here on this green earth. Amen.
Yes.
That's all I can do. I can help you. I can push you. I can be your helpmate. I can be there to listen and maybe offer assistance and guidance and the things, that you may need, and to meet your expectations. But I cannot. The soul, you resting all your happiness on me, will never work. So, all right, guys. So that's it for my fearless thought of the day. What is your relationship with yourself? And Trina, thank you for posting the 4 questions for me. Let me tell them to you one more time. I really expect y'all to be thinking about. Do y'all think about this stuff? These questions at the end of the day? What qualities do you exhibit or actions do you take that weaken your relationship with yourself? Number 2, what have you contributed to the health of your relationship with yourself? And 3
Right.
and 4 combined, what are 3 likes and 3 frustrations about yourself? So take the weekend. Today is Friday. So take the weekend to think about some of that stuff. You don't have the stress of the job, and you got Saturday and Sunday to be free to think about. So, I'm a fan of journaling. Get out that paper and pencil and write it down. And don't be afraid to write it down. Sometimes we write down what we think we should write down instead of what is real. Ain't nobody reading that but you and Jesus. Write it down for real, for real. I promise you'll feel a whole lot better. You will feel a whole lot better.
And if it's that bad, write it down. And you don't want anybody to see it, rip it up.
Rip it up. That's right. Hey, I've done
Write
that
it
plenty of
down,
times.
rip it up.
Write it down, rip it up. But you've got to address this, because let me tell you something. If going through this process, these are all the things that I've been through, all the things that I've done to get past living in crazy, and they truly help strengthen you mentally and emotionally. These are habits that once are in place, you can do them without having to get out the pen and paper. I can check myself, redirect, and correct myself right when I'm in the moment, as opposed to waiting until I'm in crisis mode. Because this is what the Fearless Journey is all about. We're trying to be proactive instead of reactive. So we don't always want to. When you're always operating in crisis mode, you're exhausted. Lynn, you tired every day. You tired. You wake up tired.
Your eyelashes tired. That's
Lynn, you can't see. You can't see. You just tired, mad, angry, frustrated and you don't know why. You've got to take the time to go through some of these steps, because it is exhausting. We wear so many hats and we do so many things, and we have to transition so quickly. We are at work, I'm Louise. When I come home, I'm Mama. When I'm on here, I'm JoJo. And then there's John Meacher we got to put into play. And I have to transition from each thing. And we all have to do that. Mother, wife, auntie, sister. It's a lot of transitions going on in there. And if your mental health is not up to the task, honey, you're going to get confused. And then, that person you've been praying over in your mind, she about to slip out. And then people going to be like, what is going on with you?
Yes.
Hey, Pauline, I tell everybody all the time, I'm a walking Lifetime movie. I'm just waiting for them to call me. I'm just waiting. Them and Oprah. And speaking of, sometimes you got to step out on faith. Go ahead, Lynn. What are you
I was gonna say, y'all don't put it on Lifetime. Go to Netflix. That's where it's at. Everybody leaving Lifetime. They coming to Netflix. Get your documentary on Netflix.
You ain't know. You better ask somebody. Netflix,
right?
Girl, because everybody's getting away from cable, and Lifetime ain't what it used to be. I don't like it now. It's too fake. But I'm a Lifetime girl. Right, and when you lose count of how many hats you have, Charlene, then that's when it's time to take time for yourself. Do that mental assessment and handle your business. Again, if you're not mentally healthy and emotionally healthy, you can't give to anybody. Your kids, everybody's going to be lacking. I promise you, because I've been there.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be lacking for something, and you're lacking the most. You're lacking the most because you're depleting yourself, and you're getting tired and you're worn out, and all you want to do is come home and go to sleep.
Right.
Man. And then think about the food that you put in your body that's aiding to that. But I won't get into that either. So, because Lynn, I said, Lynn, what you eat? I said, Lynn, I had all vegetables and a smoothie. Lynn said, yeah, over here we had a deluxe meat pizza for dinner. We had ribs for dinner over here.
Well, I mean, you have now on the serious tip, your health is your wealth, right? Yes. But it's okay to have a splurge day every now and then.
That's right. It sure is.
It's also very important, as JoJo mentioned, guys, not only your emotional health, but also your physical health. Mm-hmm. If you don't pay for it now by doing the right things, you're going to pay for it later by paying out all those medical bills and paying for all that medication and paying for all of that extra stuff that you got to now do to try to get healthy again. So your health is definitely your wealth as we move forward through this.
Yes, it is.
This life and this journey.
All of it, and what you're finding is all of this go hand in hand. We deal with your finances in your life, and then here's an amazing thing. Is don't talk about food. Here's the amazing thing, y'all. Once you start to get things together in your life and in your finances, you want better in other areas of your life. Automatically, you want to do better in this area. I mean, I can't even explain it, that it opens up your mind and you realize, oh, well, now I'm free to do, or I need to incorporate all of this so that you become a whole person. Does that make sense?
Right.
I don't know if I said that in the right way.
It absolutely makes sense, because once you start to do better in one area, like you said, it overflows into the next area of your life. So it just takes us to taking that first step, right? Taking that first step and then keeping that momentum going so that we're now doing the right things, right?
Yeah.
And my man doing things right.
Do you know this guy's name is John, and I'm going to say his last name wrong, Ganoff, or anyway, I'll post his link. He talks about how to make things ridiculously simple so that you can accomplish them. And so instead of saying, hey, I need to lose weight, or I want to get my finances together, or I know I need to do this, he says, make all of that ridiculously simple. Today, I'm going to do one thing right now. I'm not going to wait for 20 minutes. I'm not going to wait for 30 minutes. I want to do that one thing right now. So if I want to do 100 push-ups by the end of the month, I'm going to start by doing one push-up right now. Do that one push-up. 10 minutes later or the next day, I'm going to do 2 push-ups, but do them right now. So make it ridiculously simple so that you have no room for excuses. Remember, are you interested? Or are you committed? If you're interested, you're going to have all the excuses in the world why you can't do something. If you're committed, you have no room for excuses to do what you need to do. So, all right, I'm off.
And just because it's
Go ahead.
Yes, and just because it's Friday the 13th, that's not an excuse.
It is Friday. I didn't even know that. Yeah, that's right. It's not an excuse. Handle your business. Yeah. I tell you, I am so excited about everybody that has joined the Fearless Morning Show. I'm excited that you guys comment and talk back to us so we know that we're not just talking to ourselves. I am thankful that you share the videos. I'm just thankful that, that we decided to do this journey and everybody's coming along with us. Now, good job, Charlene. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, there is our YouTube channel so that they can binge watch. We have 100 videos on there, 100 shows on there now. So they can watch all the shows. They can pick them by topic because I have labeled them, and they can knock themselves out, especially if it's a topic, if it will help somebody. Don't forget to be fearless.
JoJo.
What?
We need to do a best of all our videos.
Yeah.
Gotta do that.
Let me write that. Let me get this.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. That little ADD coming out under.
I'm rubbing off on you.
Yes. But don't forget about the Be Fearless bracelets.
Be Fearless bracelets. Lynn, these are yours. Lynn got a red one and a purple one. And I like, you can't see this, but the little brown tag in the back, it says handmade with love. Isn't that cute? And so they come in all different colors. So you can get you some for Mother's Day. And then the Be Fearless, where's my camera? The Be Fearless is right there. So they're really, really cute. And then of course we have t-shirts and everything else on there as well. All right, Lynn, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's going to be y'all real soon. I'm growing the team over here, getting these interns on board. Y'all, we moving things right on up. But you can
Yes, I'm hoping to start my intern. I'm so tired of looking. Woo.
Yes, you can find me, guys, on Instagram and Twitter at Demons Speak. And you can also go over to my website, demonsenterprise.com. There's a lot of free resources and articles and things there on the resources page. And you can also find a lot of the courses and things that we teach, the information that's going to allow you to take a deeper dive into your finances, whether you're in the, you need to figure out budgeting or saving or investing or retirement planning. All of those things are there, but the main thing that we focus on is investing, guys, because that's the only way that you learn how to grow your money. Yes, we make our money, we keep our money, we grow our money, but investing is where it's at as far as us building generational wealth, as we're called to leave a legacy for generations, right? For our children's children.
That's
so y'all join us as we continue on this journey together, because I'll let y'all know this. Lynn ain't gonna be doing this for too long, because once everything gets completed and everything's rolling and systematized the way that it needs to be done, I'm gonna be like, peace.
Lynn, why you had to get the ghetto pubs?
I channeled Pam from Martin.
I love Pam. All right, guys. Thank you for joining the Fearless Morning Show. You can find me at www.bafearless.com and on all social media by my first name, Young Mitra. I'm the only Young Mitra JoJo out there, so I'm the only person that you can find. I am the only Live Past Crazy specialist, so what better place to be than here with me to learn how to live past crazy in your life, y'all. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I promise you. Remember to please share the video. If your family and friends don't have Facebook, send them right on over to the YouTube channel so that they can binge watch those as well. And Lynn, I'll get with Lynn because we do have an event coming up in June. So we will be getting that out so you can come hang out with us in June as well. So I'm excited about that. And I think that's it, guys. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Please make sure you share the video.
Can I really quickly, guys, just throw a plug for the event in June? It's going to be amazing, guys. If you really are ready to get the hands-on of everything that we talk about, the hands-on of the life tips and strategies that JoJo gives, the hands-on on the investing that we talk about, really going in and how do I actually look at that chart, Lynn, and we actually walk through the process in a live setting. That's the game changer, where you can actually get in and talk to somebody and say, hey, well, what do I need to be looking at over here? Because I've been telling you guys, watch out for those events in your investments. Watch out what's going on in Facebook. Are you watching? Do you have those apps on your phone so that you can watch what is happening? That is going to be very important, but I'll be showing you how to do that. What are the things you need to be doing? What do you need to be looking at? How do you systematize it so that it's easy for you and you can track it? That's in June 16th. We're going to be showing you how to do that at the Circling Moon location in Alpharetta, Georgia, guys. So if you can get here for June 16th. We'll be putting that information up on the site. But I'm so excited, so I had to tell you about it. All right, JoJo, we can go ahead and close out the show now.
Thank you, Lynn, because I was going to say the same thing, and we may have someone there. So if you guys are interested in I'll hold on to that. I'll hold on to that surprise. How about that? I'll hold on. But I am excited about June 16th. And like Lynn said, it will be hands-on. I have some great activities I cannot wait to share and for you guys to do. So I am excited. All right, guys, have a great weekend. We will see you here.
Okay, I'm going to hold it.
No, go ahead.
One more thing. And guys, it's not only going to be actually doing the activities inside of the classroom. We're also going to have an outside activity because we talk about your health is also very important.
That's what I was holding. Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, my bad.
Go ahead and tell it. Go ahead and tell it.
We'll save it. We'll post all of that on the website, guys. Sorry, JoJo. I got
that's okay. Because I'm excited and I want to tell everything, but I want you guys to come and experience and hang out with us, because you guys been with us since November, and here we are, April, and the Fearless Morning Show is going strong, and we appreciate all of you guys. So I can't wait to see you in June. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. We will see you here bright and early. I was going to say tomorrow morning, on Monday morning. Have a good weekend. Remember to think about how is your relationship with yourself this weekend. And I'll post those questions again. So if you want to share them with somebody, you can. So that y'all can talk about it and not just, what's the saying? Don't talk about it, be about it.
Be about it, right?
Let's be committed and not just interested. No more excuses. All right, guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you bright and early Monday morning. Have a good one.
Signing off.